Hey world, it's your girl, Miss Leah.
I'm your girl, Breezy J.
And welcome back
to the Wind Down.
We're back
again.
Exactly.
Yes, we missed y'all.
Guys.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
We definitely did. So let's go ahead and just hop right into it. Let's just act like we never left and get into the wine of the day, which is our Gallo Family Vineyards. We got the good sweet berry for y'all tonight. We tried to be nice and berry for y'all tonight.
Nice and sweet.
Yeah.
We've been gone for a while.
Yes, exactly.
Hope y'all are back with us.
Exactly. Yes, they are. So what we going to talk about tonight?
Well, before we get into it, I want to make sure that you guys are following us on Facebook at Wind Down Wednesdays. On Instagram, which we kind of neglect, but follow us anyway at Wind Down Wednesdays. Follow the station at WTTSradio.com. At WTTS Radio on Facebook and Instagram as well.
Yes,
and
definitely.
the Wind Down, the group page called the Wind Down
on Facebook.
Check it out on Facebook. All the up to date conversations during the show. So yeah, check it out.
Yes, definitely.
So
now,
what are we gonna get into tonight?
Tonight we're going to discuss some gender roles.
Gender roles.
Yes, gender roles, which I think can, house a couple of different conversations in that. But tonight we're just going to stick to a few questions that, we may have for each other and try to cover as much as we can, because I'm pretty sure we could talk a lot about this.
Yes,
and we definitely want to hear from y'all. So be sure to hit us up tonight on our, Facebook group, The Wind Down. We want to hear from y'all. Any questions, comments, concerns, anything about the show, hit us up and let us know.
Yep.
Like I said, we're going to discuss gender roles today, and basically what kind of got us on this topic. It just seems like here and nowadays we have a lot of people swapping roles, whether it be male becoming female, female becoming male, children swapping roles, or a woman taking on the man's role and a male taking on the woman's role. So, it's a lot of gender roles going on.
It's a lot of, it's a lot of,
a lot of swapping.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. So I was going to say, when I think of gender roles, I think of course, gender roles are kind of like what society has
this picture of what a man should be and what a woman should be.
Exactly. Of what you should, each sex, or the responsibilities or all kinds of things like that pertain to a certain sex.
Absolutely.
You just mentioned how, men becoming women and women becoming men. I wouldn't even think of that off the top of my head
of a gender role.
Right.
Switching your gender just completely.
Reversal.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So that is very, very interesting.
Yes.
So
yes.
I guess to hop into the first question, how do you personally feel about where gender roles are headed, or where do you think that gender roles are headed?
Today in 2016, I think that it's just like a free fall. Whatever you want to do, you can do. Like literally, when your parents, were telling you growing up, you could be whatever you want to be when you grow up. I mean, I'm pretty sure they didn't mean swapping, the opposite sex or taking over the role of a male or a female, vice versa. But it's like that's literally what's happening in today's time. You can literally be anybody, whether you're a male or a female, and it's just like wow. Right. So, me personally, I think we're getting away from what a man and a woman should be, quote unquote, and that's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is all about. Us expressing our opinions. We're not trying to sway anybody. We're not trying to disrespect anybody. But me personally, I feel like
no discrimination
at all. Yeah, right. I just feel like personally that a man should be a provider and a woman should be the caregiver. That's just in my personal life. I feel more comfortable being the nurturer, being the person who gives the love, who makes sure that, your head is on straight. I want my man to be the one to make sure that the bills are paid, to make sure that, our lights stay on, to, do the manly things around the house that I mean, if the spider's crawling on the wall, yes, I want my man to kill that joint. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I could kill it, but I got a man. I want you to kill that damn spider. So that's, I mean, that's just me personally, in my personal opinion. But like, where do you feel it's headed? Like, in what direction, or how do you feel about it?
And like you said, 2016, we are very, very open, a lot more open-minded, I think, now than what we used to be. And gender, I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to formulate my thoughts. But I think that now, like, roles are being reversed and switched all the time. So I don't think that it's out of the norm for a woman to assume the roles of a man, you know, being the provider in the household. Like, I've heard of house husbands. Yeah. And even like husbands of Real Husbands of Hollywood or something. It's like
it's a joke.
It's a joke. Right.
It's people out there really like that.
Right. They're house husbands, and there are men that stay home with the kids and, all kinds of stuff like that don't work.
And that's their dynamic.
That is their dynamic. However, I don't know if I could
do that
with a man who just doesn't work and would stay home, and I go home. I mean, I go to work and like, now I have no disclaimer, okay? Disclaimer. I have no, I can't even think of the word I want to say. I'll have nothing against going to work. And helping to provide and contribute to the household. I have nothing against that. But I'm not going to.
If somebody has to stay home, it is going to be
It's going to be I.
It is going to be I.
Exactly. And even I don't want to stay home.
Yeah.
Like
I
that's just not for me. Like I don't think that I would want to be a stay-at-home.
Yeah, well,
mom
in the house all the time.
Like full time. I don't think that that's something that I would want to do. But I don't think that I could have
a house husband.
A house husband. Exactly. Like I said, we can intertwine some of the roles. I am still slightly more traditional. I expect the man to be the head of the household and the provider and all of that stuff. But, I'll contribute and I'll help, and I expect him to be a nurturer of some sort. I might be the main caregiver, but so it goes like that with me. But I think that we are headed. I mean, it's 2016. I was gonna say we're headed here. I don't know where. I don't know where else we could go because,
from birth,
like you said,
as soon as they come out,
you can pretty much be anything, I
don't know.
The times have certainly changed.
Yeah, it has.
So I don't,
and that has a lot to do with it. Just the fact that the times have changed.
And everybody, and I think it has a lot to do with like equality. Everybody wants to be equal.
Yes.
So, the men want to be equal to the women. The women want to be equal to the men. He's not going to, and it's a lot of like feminism and stuff going on. So it's,
yeah.
We're here.
We're here. Yes, we are here. And I just want to, hop on to a question real quick. Like, how do you feel that gender role or the role of a woman or a man is beneficial? Like, what makes it so that a man can't possibly, I don't want my man to be 100% the caregiver and the nurturer like the house husband. And I don't want to necessarily get up and go to work and be the full provider, putting the bacon on the table all the time. Like, what is the benefits, I guess, of being able to switch roles? Like, is there a benefit in that in a relationship to
of being able to switch roles?
To kind of maybe take over for what the man does, and the man maybe taking over what you do.
I think that's definitely beneficial, because one person doesn't have it. Just it's not conformed or all on one person. So I definitely think that that's a benefit. I mean,
so I think it's like a catch.
It's a balance.
Yes,
I think it provides sort of a balance. Like
we can both be.
You can't go to daddy because he's not he's not going to let you cry on his shoulder. And
which is so not true.
Mommy would always have to be the nurturer and care, and some women just aren't
nurturing.
They aren't.
So I mean, I'm naturally like, oh, it's okay. Yeah, I'm naturally like that. But yeah, some women have a harder experience. Just like, get your up. That ain't hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, your baby just fell and bust their head open, and you like, get your ass up. I'm like, damn.
I'm not. That's an extreme. I think I am in the middle because I can be that hard ass, but I can also be
when I need to be
right. But I'm not a super coddling. No.
Yes, baby. I ain't got time for all of that.
And for me, and my like, I am as the mother. I'm the the stern one, not daddy, not grandma.
See, it goes both ways with us.
I am the stern one. Everybody else, like, it's what it's what mommy said. Okay, that's what mommy said.
But it's soft with everybody else.
It's soft with everybody else. And people who don't really know me are like,
and then maybe really? Too, that do you think maybe because no one else is giving him that stern,
that is certainly yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like I had to pick that up.
And it's not even but I am no nonsense.
Yeah.
In any way, shape, form, or fashion, with kids, men, like I am just no nonsense. And that comes through with parenting. With parenting. Exactly.
I think that it could be beneficial in situations where there might be a single mother or a single father in the house. A lot of women who are in relationships with a man or have a husband, will say, oh, don't get me wrong. I think a woman could raise a man, but they can't really raise a man like a man can raise, or the certain questions that they may ask, I really can't answer. That is true, but I feel like that's kind of unfair to single mothers, because it's like that kind of lets them know you're not going to really be able to raise your son to be the best man that he could be like I can, because my baby daddy lived with me. My husband lives. I just don't really like that. I think women could, raise strong black men and men, period. And I think men can raise strong women. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think sometimes it also has to do with, I think, what your mindset is at. I would, if I'm a single mother, I'm going to raise my son to be the type of man that I want. How I would want a man to treat me. Of course, I don't want to date my son when he gets older, but at least I know when he leaves the house to date a female, I'm like, okay, I know he's going to treat her right. You know what I mean? I don't have to worry about.
He was raised with standards,
certain values. So I think it could be beneficial when it comes to single parent homes, because you can't just always be the softie or the nurturer or the caregiver. You have to be the stern one at times. Especially when you're single. That's true. I think it's especially beneficial during that time, and also it could be beneficial in understanding your mate. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, maybe if I was to put myself in his shoes, or she was to put herself in my shoes, maybe we would understand each other a little bit better. Because a lot of times I hear arguments where, it's just a man thing, or a female's like, you just don't understand women. And it's just like, I mean, maybe that, it would cut that out.
Possibly.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just think, but we want to hear from y'all. Like, where do y'all think the gender roles are going, and how are they beneficial right now? Are they beneficial? Is it beneficial to switch roles in the household? Are you switching roles in your household? And, how does that work out with you? Because I know, like you say, people do it. It's house husbands out there. So
that term just cracks me.
It's so funny, house husband. Yeah, we started out with the whole housewives.
I know.
Didn't it start with Desperate Housewives or something like that?
Oh yeah,
Desperate Housewives, and then it was the Real Housewives of Orange County, I think, or something.
Yeah, that's what jumped it off.
Yeah. So, and then then I guess Kevin Hart was like, "Shit, we stay home. We got."
But none of them on that show. It is fake, but none of them stay home.
Exactly. All of y'all are the breadwinners 9 times out of 10 in your household.
Right.
Like
it's just comedy.
I knew you was going with that
one. All right, so to move on, I guess we probably kind of touched on this a little bit, but why? I want to know, why is it important to maintain gender roles, or is it important to maintain gender roles as they are, or as we knew the traditional? I was gonna say as they are. It's kind of people are pushing the envelope to try to remove the remove gender roles, and
that's why I think it's
gender
important.
Categorization and remove all of that stuff. So
I think we had a conversation.
Is it even important to maintain traditional gender roles?
Yes, because I think me and you had a conversation. You brought up the fact one time of having the whole cutting out the separate sex bathrooms.
Target. Somebody was. I think it was in Ohio.
Not a family bathroom,
it was
y'all.
Unisex.
It's a
unisex. It was
a stranger man can walk in there and pee while you peeing at the same time. And then, you know what I'm saying?
It was in Ohio, and they were like trying to pass a bill to remove like the sexes from the bathroom. So like you said, it would be a unisex bathroom. Anybody can go in there and use it. And I think it wouldn't be like a unisex bathroom with one stall. It would be a multi-stall unisex bathroom. So anybody can go in and come out. And I'm like, that is just not safe.
Yes, we already have people out here that rob people in broad daylight. You know what I'm saying? Now what's stopping me from getting what I want from this woman? Or and let's not discriminate, because it was a story out there where the girl was twerking on the man out in DC, and he was getting laughed at for suing the girls, pressing charges in the convenience store or something like that.
It was 2 girls.
So let's not discriminate. If a man is in there and a woman walks in and so happens to try to rape him, you know what I'm saying? If anything like that was to happen, it's like somebody gonna want to sue the store, and now we got this big lawsuit against Target, when it's just like, but it was the law. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that Target just said. So I think it just opens a can of worms that don't even need to be open. Yeah,
does not need to be open. Like, that to me is crazy. And like, and then they want to remove like gender specification on toys. Like, it would be no boy section, girl section. It would just be like toys. It wouldn't be pink and blue. It would be like
yellow and
white
green.
Or yellow or green. It would be something so general. And I don't know. I just don't understand. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and see, I think it's more so the adults that put more on the more emphasis on, separating the toys or bringing them together. Like, not once did a child say, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Make these toys all one color, or why are they don't know. They don't care. They just look at the toy that they want to play with, and that's what they want to play with. Because I have read a story, I think I told you about it. I have read a story about a little boy who bought some zebra print flats. They were black and white, but they had a pink trim around them. You could clearly tell they were little ballet shoes for a little girl. But the boy had on the picture, mother posted it on Facebook, and her family members had even went on her, like, personally messaged her and was like, you might want to take that down. Why do you have your son on those girl shoes? Yada, yada, yada. And she felt, she was highly upset, and, messaged her family members back and told them basically, that's messed up. She was like, we're the only ones that's putting it on my son that he can't wear those shoes.
Because those are
girl shoes. But when I asked my son, why did he pick those shoes? Why did he want to wear those shoes? He said, because they're zebra print, and zebra is my favorite animal. They don't have zebra print shoes for boys. So I just saw them and I wanted them. Okay. So he did not care that it was a girl's shoe or ballet flat. He looked at the pattern and said, "Oh, it's a zebra. Right. Where can you find zebra shoes at for boys? Unless they you might get some specialty Adidas or something. Yeah, you might get some specialty tennis shoes, but
right. But even that's
spend $20 on which I'm sure they were like $12.99 at Payless. You know what I'm saying? $14.99, whatever. So where else can you go and get $20 a $20 pair of zebra print shoes for a boy?
Right. And like you said, it's the adults. It's the kids. The kids don't have an issue. Like, and we can go into so much, but the kids, a lot of these things are learned.
Yes.
Like I said, we can just trickle on down the line of all of the stuff that is learned from an adult to a child. Like hatred and racism and all of that stuff. Like, kids are born like that, So anyway,
that's absolutely true. So that too, I think that kind of is important as well, to kind of how I feel about it is like, yeah, I don't blatantly want my son to walk out the house with a purse on or something like that, but it's certain things that I would have to kind of because my son is 10, about to be 11. I've kind of already raised him whatever. He likes boy stuff. That's just, and it might be just who he is. He likes boy stuff.
Things that are considered.
Yeah, but I can't just go out and buy him a girl toy and say, play with it, because 2016, you're allowed to do this, Deshaun. You should take advantage of it. If he wants to play with boy toys, he's going to play with boy toys. But at the same time, if my daughter was to ask me to buy her a wrestle figure, I would. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like,
thing. It's like a catch-22 because a girl wants a dump truck, And you're going to buy the girl a dump truck, and you're going to say, oh, she's just a tomboy.
A boy wants a Barbie Corvette.
Wants a Barbie,
the Corvette, because the cars are nice, top down.
And you know what? Ryan had a thrifted silver
Barbie
Corvette.
Yep. See?
Because it was a Corvette. And he was like, Mom, this is silver. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen a silver one like this. It wasn't pink. It wasn't any, but this was a girl's toy. But he got it because it was a silver platinum Corvette he had never seen before.
Exactly.
And he rode his little men
in that Corvette. Yes.
In that Corvette.
Yep.
You know, so it's a catch-22, like I said, because, you know, you couldn't
get if it was pink, you wouldn't have bought it for him. You know?
If it was pink, I mean, I can't say that I wouldn't have. I would have bought it, but his dad would have had
like, you wouldn't have like, hey, Ryan, here.
Look at this Corvette. Yes. Exactly. I would look for a red one.
Exactly.
Or something like that. Or he has a Build-A-Bear. My son is 7 and has a cell phone, but likes Build-A-Bears. Whatever. He has a little pink, because they didn't have it in red, a little pink Build-A-Bear car. His little stuffed bear was a girl. Somebody gave it to him, a little gingerbread girl.
Okay.
His favorite thing. His favorite little thing he carried everywhere.
Oh, I know that gingerbread thing. Oh my gosh. Yes, the little gingerbread man.
Gingy had a little pink car.
Okay.
When his dad came to our house, and so it was like, whose car is that? And I'm like, that's Ryan.
Yeah, that's daddy's.
And he was like,
issue.
It's pink. I said, we're clear on that.
Yes.
Like, you know, and he had an issue with it.
That's mainly what it is.
But Ryan, it wasn't because it was pink. It was because it was the only small car they had that accommodated Gingy. That's it.
And Gingy's a girl, so why can't Gingy ride out in her decked out
and
pink
Gingy
Corvette?
rode out in her pink
little
plush car, and he is not. You know, he enjoyed it. I'm not going to. I am very open minded. If I have a child that decides to be gay, I don't have, like, it's not my first choice. It would not be my preference for you, but I am not. I don't feel no type of way about it. You happy? You safe?
You're healthy?
You're fine.
I'm
fine. Okay. Just don't be like acting a fool in the streets. And I mean,
I
straight or gay.
I want to get back on that because we definitely got to take a break, y'all. We got to break and let y'all listen to this video, but I want to come back to that when we come back, because that's a good topic that you brought up. So y'all definitely stay tuned. Watch this video that we got for y'all, and we'll be back in a minute. Hey everybody, welcome back. We're so excited. Welcome back to the Wind Down. Right before we went to break, we were discussing, gender roles in children, and you had touched on a little bit about, if you were to have a gay child that, you would accept, you're not going to say, hey, be gay. But,
I'm not going to. It's not something that I'll encourage, and it's not also something that I'll discourage. Yeah. If that is what he wants to do, then that's fine, and like I said, it's not my first choice. It's not my first choice for him. I would prefer,
of course, have a wife.
And personally, it's not even because of, other people. I'm like, it's still hard. Like, even though it's more accepted now, like, it is still hard to be a gay black male?
Yes. Look, like a gay male. It's hard to be gay, but a gay black
wait, it's already hard to be, sometimes hard to be a man, right?
Yep. It's hard to be black.
So it's hard to be black.
Hard to be gay.
It's hard to be gay.
He's got
you
triple threat. I know. He's a triple threat.
Damn. Yes. Like, so it would be more so for me, like, it's hard. I wouldn't want that struggle for him, or the possible struggle. Like, I am already like shaking in my boots because I am raising a black man in America.
Yeah.
I'm already scared about all of that. So then you add being gay into the mix.
Exactly.
It's so, like I said,
too many monkeys in the boat. Yeah, I mean, too many monkeys in the bunch. Yeah, because it's just like, come on.
It would just, it would
just be worrying too much.
It would be right, and it would be more so to worry, not because that's what he's doing,
but the other people,
it's other
people
out in the world. It's other people that I'm worried about, and not other people's opinions. But,
right. What they could do.
I guess it is other people's opinions.
People still kill people for being gay.
But it would be other people's opinions. opinions. And like I said, and not like what you're saying to me or you disagree with what I'm,
right,
you know,
we don't roll like that. We don't care about that. Opinions.
But your opinion when it comes to you wanting to act, your, you know, and things like that, like I'm nervous.
Act out on those opinions. That's when it becomes a problem,
right, and that's what makes me nervous.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, like I said,
because I don't agree with a lot of things, but I don't beat people up just because they agree with stuff I don't. I don't agree with.
I'm not friends with you because, you know, you're this way, and I'm, you know, right. I don't care.
Exactly.
I really long as you're a good person. It ain't got nothing to do with me. With how you choose to live your life has nothing to do with me. Exactly. It doesn't affect me personally. Yep. Like, you ain't got to answer to me. So, exactly. You know, you do you.
You do you. And whatever makes you happy.
Exactly. Like I said, as long as you're a good person, you know, all of that, then we can rock.
We can rock. So, you know, and I wanted to come back on that whole, you know, child being gay situation because I wanted to kind of get into the whole children, parents allowing their children to change gender roles as far as like sex changes. That's the word I'm looking for. For a child. Like, no. I don't want to say in 2016 I heard about it, but a few years ago, it might have even been in 2015, maybe 2014, I've heard of like one or two situations where one was a boy, one was a girl, and they both went to the opposite sex, and both of them was around the age of 7. No, two different families, but two different children. But both, let's say between the ages of like 7 and 12, and both parents okayed them to get the sex change. So the girl became a boy. Now, one thing I don't know is if they allowed them to undergo the medical part or if they're just taking hormone. Yes. Procedure. Yes. That I don't. Yes, because then, you know, it becomes a problem with the child not being mature enough. And then one day becoming mature enough and
deciding that this isn't what they wanted to do. Now, I mean, that's tricky. Like I said, if my son at 8 years old decides that he doesn't want to be a son anymore, you know, we're going to have some conversations. I am not letting him know there will be no operations, there will be no sex changes, there will be no,
you can wear skirts to school instead of jeans now.
We're gonna wear jeans,
yeah,
but I don't know, like that's tricky. That's really tricky. But I don't see myself
because and then it gets harder when you have people like Jaden Smith out here being a female model, like modeling women's clothing, and it's like, you know, skirt suits, like floral skirt suits, not just the black blazer with the pin skirt. Nah, like floral ass pin 3 pieces with the cami, the camisole, the jacket.
You said 3-piece suit. I was like, wait a minute.
Well, not the suit, but the 3-piece. Yeah, and he ain't got the man version. He got the female version. So, like, something that is making it harder as well for parents because then your child's
doing it. And see, it's almost like, you know, talking about the toy. I mean, it's a little different because it's clothes, but it's almost like the toys. Like, no, you can't wear these because these are girl clothes. You know, like, that's trick. I don't have an answer for that. I don't have a real response for that because I don't know. Like, I just, as I just said, very open and very accepting.
Okay, yes, of what you want to
my child wants when he's an adult.
Yeah, yep. When you're able to make your own decisions.
When you're able to make your own decisions, if this is what you decide in your decision, then that's fine. But when I am a
caregiver for you,
a caregiver and a deciding factor, like
a guardian,
I have to help you. Like, you have to get my permission to do this.
I'm not signing
in a sticky situation.
And hopefully when you turn, because, you know, at 16, I think that, you know, kids, that's when they kind of get to a point where, what was I thinking? And they're like in that middle part of what was I thinking when I was little? You know what I'm saying? Like when I did that, they're in that stage of kind of learning, like between 16 and like 20, you're kind of learning like what you want to do, where you want to go. So say for instance, your child gets to 16 and what you look at exactly. So hopefully you saying no, by the time they get that age, they'll understand that, you know, mommy wanted to give me the opportunity to make this decision on my own.
You know what? You can start wearing this when you start to buy your own clothes.
Yeah.
You know, like this is no.
And it has nothing to do with, discriminating or anything. I mean, I wear dresses and skirts and stuff, but that's one line I ain't crossing. I mean, we talked about the pink toys and the blue toys, but I'm not allowing my son to wear skirts and dresses. And people might say, but your daughter can wear jeans. I mean, jeans are neutral.
Jeans are universal.
Yeah, I'm not putting my son on, stretch jeans, stretch skinny jeans. I'm not putting my daughter
no
on
leggings.
Yeah,
no leggings, no tutu shirts. Like,
yeah, come on.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. I don't feel, like I said, I don't have a personal feeling against anybody who does. That is your choice. That's what you choose to do. Not what I would choose to do.
For myself,
but I don't look at you sideways. Like I am. People say I play both sides of the fence often. I can see both points of view. So, like I said, would not be my choice, but
I can understand.
I can understand if this is a situation. If this is a child, the child is not feeling like a boy and wants to be a girl, and you respect those wishes and want to help him honor or help him feel more comfortable in himself or herself or whatever the case is, then that's what you chose to do. I understand that.
I mean, in that situation, unless you're trained in this, I would definitely go see like a therapist or something, because I wouldn't know how to handle my child with that, because I wouldn't want them to grow up resenting me and like, oh, my mother just didn't accept me. And it's like, I mean, damn, I just wanted to make sure you weren't making no drastic ass decisions at 7 or 8. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, I was trying to save you, But, so I think I kind of, because I know we moved on to like, with another question, which was whether or not you would allow your child to wear the opposite sex clothing. But I kind of want to go back on the whole like switching roles, boys and girls. I just personally don't agree with that either. That's just not something that I think you're mature enough to make a decision on. Hell, take Caitlyn Jenner, for instance. This woman waited till she was damn near 70 to make the decision.
Like, there were a lot of
slow and steady wins the race.
There were a lot of contributing factors.
I know.
A lot of contributing factors to that. I think that it had a lot to do with his reputation and things like that. Like, I think it was a lot of contributing factors to that. So, but finally she was comfortable enough to do it.
Exactly.
Got it done.
Exactly. Yep. So that was that. Now we're going to move on to the next part of the segment, which is do we as a society need to change the way that we think, or do the parents just need to go ahead and go with what is already set in stone? Like, like this is the role of the male, this is the role of the female, or is it okay for them to allow their children to do what they do?
I don't know. I think it all depends on each individual family. I mean, it kind of gets back to what we were saying before. Like, I personally wouldn't allow my child to just go ahead and do that, but
it's all on preference.
It is.
Yeah, because it's parents out here that's allowing their children to do this. So to me, it's like just what you said. It's all about preference. Right. It's all about your values, your morals, your parentals, and how you feel. Yeah,
exactly. It's what works for your family. It's what works for you and your family. If it works for y'all, then do it.
Go ahead and do it. Yeah. I mean, because just because you switch roles or whatever the case may be, don't mean you can't do the everyday things in life that straight people do. It's gay people out here adopting. It's transvestites out here getting married. I mean, shit. We all living life. You know what I'm saying? We all living life. So it definitely goes by preference. For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. It's what works. It's what works for you. It was what works for your family. Like that's just what you go with.
Yes. I'm glad we agree on this. You feel me?
What if we did agree?
that'll be, just a debate.
Like
we'll just have a debate.
You're glad we agree.
Yeah, but I think it would be even more of an interesting conversation.
Right?
Yeah, if we didn't agree.
See, but that's the thing, y'all will probably notice if you haven't noticed before. We tend to agree
a lot
on a lot.
It's a Gemini thing. Hey, it's a Gemini thing. Exactly. So on that note, we're gonna go ahead and take a break. Let y'all listen to this song of the day, and we will be right back. Hey, welcome back to the Wind Down, everybody. We are here to finish up this show on gender roles. Me, Breezy J, and my girl, Miss Leah.
Miss Leah. Let's be sure to plug the pages right, Miss Leah?
Yes.
So be sure to follow us on Wind Down Wednesdays on Facebook. Wind Down Wednesdays also on Instagram. Follow the radio station at WTTS Radio on both Facebook and Instagram. What am I forgetting?
Our group page,
the
Wind
Down.
I
always forget the group page. I'm sorry, group. Follow us at the Wind Down on Facebook for the group as well.
Yes.
And then check out WTTSradio.com where you catch us here every Wednesday.
Yes, at 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
Yeah, so we were, discussing gender roles, and for the wind down, we decided to talk about this whole Manny Pacquiao situation and his big ass mouth.
That got him dropped.
Yes, and any other freaking endorsement he might have.
Yeah.
They were saying the LGBT community, look, they don't play.
They don't play.
Y'all don't mess with them LGBT community.
LGBT and PETA.
Oh my gosh, don't mess with them animals. Oh my gosh. And he referenced animals. So I wonder, is PETA on this too? He referenced how, I guess, what was it, gays are
worse than animals or something like that?
Because animals could tell the difference between male and female. Shade, but damn, yeah, I was like, okay, if that's, tell them how you really feel. But I personally don't agree. I don't agree with judging. Like I agree with speaking your opinion, but it becomes it's a very thin line between opinion and judgment.
Absolutely.
No, so you gotta just know the difference between the two.
Absolutely.
Stop judging people. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? That's something he should have just said between his wife and his family and left it at that. But now that's how a lot of these famous people lose their money, opening their mouth, talking about stuff that don't even pertain to them. You're not gay.
Right. Exactly.
You're not, bisexual, transvestite, whatever. So leave it alone. Why talk about it?
I like you said, I do not agree in the judging. That is something. And then I think when you are such a large public figure, everything that you say, even if you're judgmental, then that's fine. Like, but be judgmental at home. Like, this is you are a public figure. This could affect your livelihood, as it did.
Yeah.
Like, you make one comment, and I wonder even what the conversation was about. Like, I wonder what were they talking about
for him to bring that up,
to warrant a comment like that. Like, that is like preposterous to me. Like, I would not compare. No.
Anyone to an animal. Damn.
I mean, a murderer,
unless you're a real animal. Yeah, like you're really an animal in human life. Like, you just go ham.
Right, an animal. Right. In the when
you're a human, but you act like an animal.
When you act like a savage and stuff like that, but not because like sexual preference.
Yes.
And like that is almost like that is like the most
discriminatory. Comment
that you can say. So yeah, I totally don't agree with that. And he's been dropped from Nike.
Okay.
So and I'm sure if he has any other endorsements,
they're going to be trickling away as well.
They're going to, and it's like, I think he issued an apology, but you don't come back from that. You might say I'm sorry, but people know
a lot of people not going to forgive you,
especially when you say something like that. That's just not like I think gay people are weird. That's not something like that. That's not something, and that's not right. But that's
what
also kind of simple. You actually thought about this, and you made a
analogy,
analysis, and all this other stuff. So you can't come back from that. You can say sorry, but is it genuine? You're sorry. Yeah, you're sorry. You said it because you lost your damn endorsement. So it's no coming back from that, and I think it will be probably downhill from here.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. I agree. Yep. And it should be.
It's like you just don't say stuff like that. Yeah. You just don't say, even if that's how you feel like that at home.
No. In the comfort of your four walls in the room. If somebody asks you a
question about that, if you get a no comment from me, if you ask me something and
I feel a bad way about it, and I know it's going to be negative, no comment.
No comment. Because I am never out to offend anybody. You know what I mean? And I don't tread lightly and I don't tiptoe. And yes, I get into debates and heated conversations with people, but I am never going to blatantly offend you because something that you're doing is not what I agree with.
Yeah, exactly.
So
absolutely.
That's just what it is.
Yes. So on that note, we're going to get into this Miss Leah's last words. Yes, so, I know y'all missed it.
I know. We ain't last words in a minute. Y'all just missed us as a whole. Anyway, so I'm gonna round y'all out, close y'all out tonight, and this is like it's a quote on gender equality, gender roles, and it's just kind of something to think about. So the quote comes from Gloria Steinem. Sorry, lady.
Sorry, Gloria.
And the quote is, "We've begun to raise daughters more like sons, but few have the courage to raise our sons more like daughters."
And on that note, we're going to go ahead and call it a night.
Indeed.
Thank y'all for tuning in tonight on the Wind Down. Be sure to check us out next time on WTTSradio.com.
See you then.